Nigel, how happy are you with that performance and result?
Oh, I'm delighted. The character that we showed today was the only way we were going to get anything from the game at all, by showing an immense amount of character on a day like today. Opposition like we faced today, in great form, won the last four, I think, scored 6 goals here in the last couple of games, 2 threes, and you have to defend as though your life depends upon it, and I thought we did that in the second half.
It was another real tug of war here, wasn't it?
God, honestly, we used to come in the Northern Prem with Burton and everything. Every single time we've had a similar sort of game. They throw the ball in the box and cause you problems, and that's why they're up there in the league. I couldn't think of a tougher draw for us coming somewhere like this today in these conditions.
And a real cup tie, you might say.
Yeah, it was. It was, mistakes sort of. I thought it was the team that probably made the least mistakes was going to win today because of the conditions. I don't think any made any glaring ones. Hawks got caught on the ball and Christie got him out of trouble with a great save at the end of the first half. But I thought 2 very, very honest teams going at it, and almost impossible to stop the ball coming in your box in the last 10 minutes. Goalkeepers putting in, the centre halves are putting in, long throws are coming in, so all you can do is deal with it, and I thought we did that as well as we could.
Difficult conditions, as you say. Before kick-off, it was a rain-sodden pitch, which the lads had to play on. Did that alter anything in terms of how you might go about your business?
No, not really, just apart from a little bit more direct than we normally were, because not ideal conditions to play through midfield. We did it a couple of times, got caught at times when we played some reasonable stuff, but it was more about sort of hitting good areas, which I thought Elliot Hewitt especially did today for Lucas and Laps to chase. We tried to keep two up there for all the game as much as we could, trying to get that second goal. It was about being sensible play today, no mistakes.
What did you think to the decisive goal by Ollie Hawkins in the first half?
Well, I thought first of all he was outstanding in his defensive play, and then he's popped up towards the end of the first half, and it's just bobbing around. He swiveled and put it in, so very important player in both penalty areas for us, as he proved today.
Overall, was this a deserved victory?
I'm not sure. I'm sure with the pressure that Barrow put us under, particularly in the second half, and I thought they had the clear-cut chances in the first half, maybe just a couple, but the pressure that they had in the second half, they might think that they could have got a draw or even a win. That was our biggest fear. When you got another 6 minutes, if you concede late on, you could even lose it. But once again, I thought Christie Pym decision making was great, and everybody to a man. We got some great blocks in. And especially crosses coming in, we got good blocks in on those. And Christie didn't have too many saves in the second half despite the pressure.
What about that save with his legs in the first half?
Oh, that was great. Just that's sort of moving your feet and getting across your goal and making yourself, as big. We were right behind it, and it's very difficult for the lad to score with that unless he heads it back where it's come from in the far corner, and that's a difficult header as well. This was the only time I think Hawks made a mistake today.
You might have wrapped it up for sure and certain around about the hour mark when you broke forward over the halfway line with George Lapsley, but he just looked uncertain with his pass to Lucas Akins.
Yeah, we had a couple of opportunities on the break, and we just couldn't quite get the second. There weren't many, but yeah, I think the final ball in the conditions was difficult today, and we had another one. I thought the lad made a great clearance when Kieran Wallace was coming in at the far post from across from the right, and then Laps nearly got one in at the near post, pulling it back for Kieran. So there was 2 or 3 opportunities, but the main thing was looking after the 1-goal lead.
Prior to that, a couple of changes at the break. Kieran Wallace and Ollie Clough coming on for Anthony Hartigan and Stephen Quinn.
Yeah, Stephen Quinn injured, got a whack on the back of his knee in the first half, so he couldn't continue. I think he'd be a doubt for Tuesday. And Anthony Hartigan being booked on a yellow card. We've been at 10 men in the previous 2 games. Didn't want any problems again in that area, and just thought with the conditions today it's one sort of slip or a mistimed challenge, and he could find himself with a second yellow. Ollie Clark didn't start because his knee's been a bit sore this week, but I thought him and Kieran did really well when they came on.
What about that last 10 to 15 minutes? How would you describe that defensive performance?
I would say it was 10 to 15, within not an hour. It seemed much, much longer than that, but we just put our bodies in the way and defended. And you've always run the risk of something dropping somewhere, a little ricochet or anything like that dropping. But I thought generally we dealt with it, and then we got out and tried to stop the ball coming in the box with Lucas and Laps as much as we could. But we dealt with it, especially Ollie Hawkins, brilliantly. And the subs as well played their part, We've used all 5 substitutes again today, and everybody contributed.
Does that give you heart, that defensive resilience, especially after last weekend conceding 5?
Without a doubt, that's what we needed today. Having 3 at Crawley and 5, and 5 against Swindon. Interspersed with that, we've had 2 great clean sheets. Tough one against Newport, 40 minutes with 10 men, and as you've seen today. So we know we're not far off, and it's just getting that level of consistency to do it more often than not, which we have been doing. That's why we've had such a good record over the last 12 months or so.
And you're into the second round now. Any preference who you want?
Home, please, just please be at home. 230 odd supporters came up today. They deserve a home draw as much as anybody. We've been on the road too much. 5 out of 7 in the cup draws or whatever. It'd be nice just to get somebody at home and just give us a chance of getting into that third round.
Thanks, Nigel. Well done.
Thank you.